policies and support in places that we come from.
Yeah.
So gima joluo osebedo ka temo timo en ni gibede duol achiel. And you have to give it to mzee ni osetemo keto ji kamoro achiel. So much so that what you refer as to the South Central divide has not been there for a long time.
Yeah.
South.
Apart from the kawaida banter, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I believe it's not even banter. Sometimes I tend to think that, this is more than banter,
And gino mako ga dhoga, joluo, watch South ki Central ni mako dhoga ga.
But it's been there. Lakini gima bende nyakwa ikrene, any kingpin is going to be generated organically, then sometimes that is going to be a very long process. If this guy is not going to be elected, whoever the successor is, it is possible that we again retreat into those small actions. The central, for example, the central, the South was
Koro miwa uru je South.
Yeah, je South. The central version and someone obedo kanyo ngama no yiero.
No.
Koro ka yiero ara wambe wate maro.
Ero.
Yeah.
Koro an dongruok e luo Nyanza onego bed ni koro ineno kaka jogi oserindowa. Tuo tu babo koko ni Kibaki tosha. Before 100 days MOU mane gindiko mara 100 days cha. Dong joko tuo kode kapok kata 100 days ochopo. Gichane kata 60 days ya osekalo. Mano yoke 27 omae pep kata karwa makoro no loko rangi kimeti ni omako mana doga. Dong nen Minister of Justice and Constitution. Mano olidho ka jok piti sa uchielo tieno.
Momiyo an yuago Kibaki
ne
Serena.
Anto na yuage kendo na dhi nyaka liende.
Kinawa in mone gibe jatelo imeni gi chuny amako
kaka iwacho niya ero owe legacy maber kendo en president ma osebedo go ker ma osebedo go iwacho ni en ma osetiyo moloyo ker te. Anyway, no temo. I won't refute that. But we can't also erase the fact that his second term was illegitimate. And according to me.
Not according to you, according to the facts. They
facts.
Stole. Gichanage kwalo. We just let him go because Lodge no lawyer. But it is true that they stole that second and the Minister of Justice and Constitution, then Honorable Martha Karua, enabled. It beats my brain how Raila walked all over Kenya and settled on Honorable Martha Karua of all the people. As you say, politics is just as much personal as anything.
There are no permanent
enemies
in politics.
But it beats me. See, even if there is no permanent enemies, but even politically, the pool that Martha Karua has and the NAC Kenya cannot be compared. In fact, I wonder how Raila managed to lose Wetangula and managed to lose Mudavadi and the rest of the cocoon.
No, I think for Wetangula and let's analyze it at that level. For Wetangula and Mudavadi, that was bound to happen. And it's not just because Wetangula was ousted out of minority whip must have been in the Senate. There was a larger conversation around and about how these ones would carry their own flag, right? So Mudavadi seeing himself as a big shot, Wetangula seeing himself as a big shot, and I'm sure you cannot ignore the conversation also around monetized politics.
Pesa,
yes. So probably because Mzee was not or had a challenge navigating through that, and thinking of Kikuyu as a serious voting bloc, there needed to be somebody who legitimately would speak for the Kikuyu. And the person who probably shepherded that was Uhuru Kenyatta. So Raila needed to listen to him in terms of who did he think was going to be now the new vision carrier for the Kikuyu? Okay, and so you have to, aside from the simplistic dismissal of the person of Martha Karua, you have to bundle all the potential candidates then in the pool, and then start to sieve their enemy one by one. So if you're not telling me of Martha Karua from Mount Kenya, who else? Probably you'd tell me of
Peter Kenneth.
Peter Kenneth.
Peter Kenneth, so be in a pod ni pay.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have to then begin that conversation. Who was it going to be? And also this discussion that the time was ripe for a woman candidature in the position. So Raila probably thought that if you had a woman, that was going to bring, women carry a lot of 60% of voting constituencies women, by the way.
But ingeni mano
interestingly
ne pajja ndiko gi pajja somo opogore ingeni mome ne yabedo niya asilimia 60 no
atamalo
60 mine donge lakini gina decision gi kaka gi amua affected gi other factors chuo gi gima society wacho ikoro it might be ni atamalo 60 nitie kuom ndiko kuom wacho kama lakini jok ma affect lwet gi no
gima ni e top
jok ma amua gi di vote is a different factor, but we'll come back to that.
Lakini giko wach motenore gi mano and the larger Mount Kenya were not voting Ruto. They are voting against Kenya.
Yes.
All that thought.
Yeah, so they were voting Raila ticket was more like a Uhuru project. And they were very keen on voting out Uhuru. Yeah. And so Uhuru supporting Raila was more like a baggage on the side of Raila. And you'd realize every time Uhuru would go to speak to these people, it was more like a rant, it was a lecture. He never had solid conversation with them. What was projected as a visit to the mountain, that would always be talked about, that this time Uhuru is going to speak to the people, never happened. In fact, the last Sagana declaration did more worse than good.
Yeah.
So mane momiyo samaro Raila no tenore gi Martha, which then came to be the ghost that haunted him.
It really haunted him.
Yes.
But you know what? Anto handshake no anano
one luo Nyanza anyalo mi ranyisi yo madhi mowuok Ahero ochimo Kisii tochimo Migori mano Alban project, but mano kinde handshake
nyaka bedni handshake tamore one bag of
handshake feeder roads yo mopoa odhuro
wan gi lam nyaka don dala wagi
kanyo to handshake nokonyo
the proposed road must be to no get to Pokaneno korgi cliff kocha karachoni to ni karachoni
Kanyadhiang
Gio moro madhi Kabala kucho
ang'eyo yono
Gio moro ring road moro I'm really hoping it will come to fruition. It will boost the economy in that place. First of all, Homa Hill is the front gate to Homa Hills. Homa Hills is a beautiful place. There are hotels there, you know, aware of them.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Managi Makia.
Resorts are there.
Meaning Golden Race.
Golden Race again. Okay, the money again.
The Piccadilly.
Kuna resorts
Gitwaris.
There are people who climb Homa Hills. You know Homa Hills is a
so Homa Hills Karen kama
Homa Hills has potential. But the problem is the erosion there and the roads there are bad. But if they can be built. Anyway, my point is Kataruto Sai, if you see his movements, there is something he's planning with us.
Wanto, gimana se wachonia tekno kelonwa gimoro. Tekno kelonwa mo.
Ng'e gima timore en kinde duto a war leader bang bang lweny or in the times of peace, the world leader does not necessarily need the warriors anymore.
I hear
you get. So that is why Kinagashagwa may not be of help, and so this guy is courting new friends for the future.
Yes.
And he's quite tactical. Ngene gimane Ruto timo jikia. Ruto started courting Mount Kenya in the first term. Giuru Kenya. So ena olema kanyo weekend ena rambe kanyo. Because he knew you don't need to necessarily spend time in Rift Valley.
Yeah, kanyo then sure bet.
Yes. But now mano is the same script.
Moti yogo
kodwa to kende mane Gachagua temo kwalo. Mar temo courting Mount Rift Valley. But now those boys are like
let me tell you the loyalty that the Kalenjin there is one I've never seen in my life.
They're so loyal.
Their loyalty is ile anaweza kufa nayo, and it does not need oath. They are the kind of loyalty that does not need oath. If they love you, if you can take their word. But you kweli ya Gachagua ni ukweli ya uongo. I'm not afraid to say, but let me say, if Gachagua is going
but
to
the Kikuyu Kalenjin marriage is a marriage that has run its course.
Yeah,
I don't think it's sustainable to the future
anymore. And let me tell you, Ruto, the way nani anajaribu temo quote jo Kalenjin, kaka Gachagua temo quote jo Kalenjin of tiyo. To Ruto, one very open-minded might be a good thing. But Ruto ni dibedo siep luo Nyanza. Ana kono.
Dongase no kanga to wacho ni en nylon. Wodwa.
Doge me no dugo wacho ni ok wi gitu 7. Ngano da onera en. One mane wadwaro ni kata ko yie mo bedo president. Koro ka bedo president. A full feel gima baba no chako. Winjo kaka wacho moicha. Doge bien. But anyway, apa ni koro wacho weche mang'eny.
To wacho gik mang'eny.
Waporo wacho.
Koro Kinawa dhi duogo Gredi Kinawa nyaka duogo.
Nikech nitie weche mang'eny ma pod onego wambeki.
Kato jok madwa ywak ni Kisungu wawacho mang'eny. Kisungu noya Luo. Kisomo historia. Luo no biro before English. Koro any English you hear came from Luo.
Correct. Ayie wachno.
Luo ngeni wuoyo ka gin joma relaxed. To Kizungu be iwacho ka in relaxed.
Iwinjo kaka waweyo in relaxed. Yani we Luolize the English.
We Luolize the English.
Kiningeni go Luo kende dhok madonjo gi Kizungu
kabisa.
Wada achiel iwacho gi Kizungu to mar ariyo iwacho gi dhona.
Kamano. Koro kapok watieko.
To bende nikech maduong' to wawuoye Dongruok mar onagi Uganda Luo. Apani ber mondo wang'e ni siasa nyalo dhi kanya achiel gi dongruok. Apani motelo to wasetimo siasa mang'eny molo dongruok. It's high time mondo reflect on resources ma wan go. Wan gi water resource in Victoria. Wan gi intellectual resource in Victoria.
A lot of that.
The same God that has endowed us with intellect, reason and knowledge has not intended us to forgo their use. Kaka Lunya. Koro, if people would come together to think through what we can use, the opportunities we can seize, how we can collect ourselves around economic ideas, I think that would help us going forward. It is not enough to say national government is not doing anything while we have counties. Erigi mewasete mogi counties.
Yeah.
Nikech formally Kenya no pog a region aboro. Post independence majimboism. Ne wan gi Nyanza, wan gi Nairobi, wan gi Northeastern, Central gi mamoko. And of course the present day 6 counties mano motingo Nyamira otingo Kisii, otingo Kisumu, otingo Migori, otingo Homa Bay, otingo Siaya. Kata kamano siasa marach kind Kanu gi Kadu nedwa ni Kisii obed Rift Valley. But Kisii no biro bedo Nyanza. Koro penjo maduong' ni ere gima counties 4 ma Kaluo timo. That is very important. Nikech, the about 8 to 11 key county responsibilities. Eregi magisetimo in the frontiers of agriculture. As we complain of mibadhi motimo touch, the national government. Sani mibadhi motimo touch. Counties, yes. So, hapa ni sama wambeko, kendo sama waporo piny, kendo sama watiyo gi thuolo ni kaka rang'e mar piny. Waparane kendo ni ere gima wanyalo timo. Especially kaka jomatindo. Ng'eni pach jomatindo opogore gi jomosetelo. Wan wang'iyo new opportunities. Jomosetelo samoro ne ng'enye clan, jadhot man. Sani dholuo e dhodwa. Dhodwa wajo dhot achiel. I think that is very important for us to reflect on. Opportunities that we can leverage on as a people to help self-support, self-sustain as a people. That's very important. Sure. Sanian, my new undertaking and support low nationalism. And through that, we have procured the acres of land. That we were doing agriculture. Wandwa pidho rabuon, dio duma.
Kanye? Migori?
Yeah, Migori Wasimbete. Wasimbete ukiepo gi...
Wasimbete machal mana... Oso mnaka Tanzania.
Ero, kuno. Ichimo wakwera Tanzania piny. Yes.
Okay.
Mano gima wadwa timo sani.
Mano bad. I think
mana wachako go. Kaito koro wadwa
development.
Nyaka koro
Dongruok kama koro nyaka wang'i. Ne siasa bebero. Siasa wasafanya nini? Koro wang'i dongruok.
Why integrate the two? Koro wangi not just politics but political economy.
Equality. Central government of being a con, no money for now. What for them to but me
think mano make motivation na mar talk ground support the girls ground kelo dongruok
Inyalo imagine devolution of 400 billion in the new proposed finance bill. 400 billion money ngeni pesa 100 billion. Ngeni samoro ber mondo wata contextualize these monies because they can be bandied around, the figures can be bandied around, and you get to lose the sense of yes. Pesa no ngeni duong ma kama donjo nyaka winj tikne. Mako kutiyo kode maber. Awiti mielo thum Kisumu. Tingina awiti mielo thum Kisumu no. Sabolo ego tek. Awiti mondo wa ket tenda awiti e rang'eny. Wingsel rapim. Nyaka wapenjre penjo achiel ariyo adek mokwongo. Penjo no we leave it at the doorstep of ODM. Winjo. Penjo no we leave it at the doorstep of voters normally. Get awiti no chamo tamare. Donge. If there was anything to be observed in the first term, why did he do the second term? Of course, there was the role of rigging. We are not afraid to say there was the role of rigging, but you can only rig in
the 6 piece factor.
The 6 piece factor. ODM favoritism. And now we intellect. Intellectual moro umabekachelo Moses Kajua. He's a serious debater. Has a lot of contribution with the Public Accounts Committee. And oversight. No, Kajua never. When audit reports for counties are published with the Office of the Auditor General, usually as advice, they are given different descriptions. Those reports are forwarded to the Senate. Okay? So when they're forwarded to the Senate, it is not enough to say, I did Anyo waketho kisungu wacho ni I oversighted. But well, I oversighted. It is not enough to say that. Iyudo ka Moses rido ne governors mamoko. But korgi onge gimotimo. You get? Because a Senate committee sits as a quasi-judicial authority. And then chalo high court. Yeah? The same way you can indict a criminal before the high court, the same way you can indict a governor before the Senate committee. Yeah, what did they do with adverse reports? They did nothing. Core responsibility, no, ODM must be willing to bear.
Yes, as much as they say they're not in government, you know that the political party is mandated to provide a contribution to what not in government. They can provide accountability. In fact, it can be able to if of course they're not elected or in any office as a political party, but it is their responsibility. Ni kama mpeana whatever.
I mean, your child is always coming back with bruises, a clear sign. Hey, why is my child being battered? Anyway, now ODM has a responsibility card, and I think that then ought to be a template of how we run our counties moving forward. I mean, in the sense that you don't just sit back and say, the people have given that person mandate for 5 years. We will come back as ODM party after 5 years. No, there are stopgap measures now. The same GCI. Yes.
Old guys there, to America, the machine will go with your man. Equal bed, one for 1 day and but anyway,
apa di ching moro ya kwa losa urindi mar hello ma lunyan
kendo mano biro to wako bedo kama endelea kai ng'ato ma iwinjo ni nyabiro kwako
twak makende
okata jatelo mo elected jotelo chi maonge uche jotelo grassroots leaders wan godo down country
wakiluwa wa
Kinawa wa
wakiluwa wa
message on
kata ka ini midwa biro ni mondo itwa kodwa
bona office wa gokolo
wano wacho weche te wacho weche siasa wacho weche utamaduni wacho weche chiemo
weche ndalo gik moko te
bakndalo
agonyo kama bye wale Gredi agonyo kama lakini iko pamoja kwa
ikiwe wa
kama kwa nini ndani mus hadi wani wakikaja barko
Igeni watch boss and timbe jomaya imbo mar Kenya. Jomaya imbo mar Kenya ero boss ahi. Okay. Nyandwat and north, Ugwe and east, Milambo in south, Imbo in west. Aurumos ne Dana Maretho Dera. Maretho Dera ne ndayo mutegna hinya. Sadi koro en gigni 9.
Strong and growing.
Strong and growing. Maritha ingine no and what tomboy. Kuro anaye stock no. I'm made of that stock. otherwise
an gi joma ng'eny madwa moso. Adwa moso of Ketchlets. Ang'e ni gin johera mar podcast ni mara. Ketchlets. Adwa ni Ketchlets. Ase similate you guys. Akoy ni Ketchlets kuma gitie. Adwa moso Rick Poet, the Woodlody, the Wajdala. I know they're going to listen to this podcast and they can support one.
remb kisi moro, remb luo moro kanyo.
John Nyamboche, and they ojo babu ya Uwii maber. John Nyamboche mano lecturer maduong' I'm also using that term and Uwii mami agani the dogs.
Azuba.
Please not wear war.
Japadola to wiki kwilgo.
Japadola bosi ya then Advocate Vincent Jamigori nasikia lakini siwezi ongea andi kama Kiswahili bull rino na machielo mawia winjo en Rafael Wanga onana nyongi ankotia to 16 kana kendo ji temo donga hapo moso wewe biro machiegni ni bro kama tiyo kwa watu manani
Erokamano uru jodruok kuom winjowa kendo wantie nikech
one nikech
I am because we are.
Yes, one nikech erokamano
wedo kendo kanu oumu
Nyasaye oritu, Nyasaye okungu, muono ne otau. Come on.